has had little written about him is Harry T. Burley. Joining us now, author Craig von Buseck, who's here now to talk about his new book called Nobody Knows, the Harry T. Burley story. I want to thank you for coming in, Craig. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean.
Why is it so important to tell the story of Harry Burley? And I mean, I think a lot of people know that he's an Erie native, but they maybe don't know a lot about him.
Well, Harry Burley gave the spirituals to the world more than anyone else. He worked tirelessly to give the Negro spirituals to the world, and these songs gave hope to the American slaves to endure what they had to go through. And then through Burley and others from his time, but especially Burley, these were spread around the world, and so they ended up giving hope and inspiration to millions of people around the world. Also, Burley broke down barriers for African-American musicians by not singing in the minstrel house. You know, back in that time, a lot of most African-American musicians would have to put blackface on and be in that derogatory, stereotypical type of situation. It was terrible. And Burley listened to his mother from Erie, Pennsylvania, and she said, stay away from the minstrel house. And he did. Instead, he sang art songs and church melodies, and this helped pave the way for the next generation of black musicians so that they could leave the minstrel shows altogether.
How did Harry Burley change the course of American music in other ways? Because, you know, to this day, we still hear Harry Burley's music all the time.
That's right. When the book first came out, I heard a UNICEF commercial playing the spirituals in the background, and this commercial was played to raise funds for children all over the world. So the spirituals are still having an amazing impact. There's a musical historian named Dominic Rene Delerma who said, in Harry T. Burley, you have the birth of American music. That's quite a statement. And the reason is that he took the African-American folk music that he learned from his ex-slave grandfather right here in Erie, lighting the lamps around Perry Square downtown. And then the Native American themes that came from his Scotch Indian grandmother, and then blended them with the classical music, European music that he learned at the National Conservatory in New York. That was the seedbed of what became all American music.
Okay, we have just a few seconds left, but how did Harry Burley's accomplishments really help break down racial barriers?
Well, Burley was colorblind. Though he promoted the spirituals and the Negro folk songs, he was a person who moved in all different kinds of circles, sang for the King of England, sang for Teddy Roosevelt, was handpicked by J.P. Morgan to be the soloist at his church, and so he went from being just a regular kid here in Erie, Pennsylvania, to worldwide acclaim at the height of Jim Crow, and that is an amazing story.
Absolutely is. The story is called Nobody Knows, the Harry T. Burley story. Craig von Buseck, the author. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, Sean. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Yay! Woo! Good. Okay. Promo.